Old man, check. Call of Duty beanie, check. It's the final grind my gear. And we're gonna grind the gear one last time together today, right here on GearGasms. Hi everybody, welcome to GearGasms. I'm your host, Alan Barnes. We're gonna be doing grind my gear today. What's grind my gear, you ask? I'm gonna tell you in just a second. But first, if you're new to the channel, I'd like to ask you to like and subscribe. This channel is kind of like the Washington Redskins. Yeah, maybe the name's a little offensive, but even if you change it, the product is still gonna suck. Celebrate mediocrity. So it's grind my gear. What is that? That's when you send me your potato cam pics of your ratchet ass gear or your really nice gear, and we ooh and ah, or we lay pipe on it. One thing happens or another. I try to find funny things to say about it and get rich. Why is it the last grind my gear? Because I ain't getting rich.
Loser!
Nobody's watching it. Right now, as we speak, Grind My Gear Episode 8 came out just today. It is eating the biggest bag of dicks yet. Every single new episode of Grind My Gear that I put out does worse than the last one. And when you only do one video a week and you lay out a turd, that displeases my Google overlords. And the channel ain't growing. So I love doing this. I enjoy it. It's a quick, easy series. I thought I could make it work, but it's just not happening. So Grind My Gear is done. So let's just get right into the very last one of them. Alrighty, first up on the list of Grind My Gear, we have a simple Simon. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous Squire. At first I thought it was one of those see-through ash bodies, but it's just the way the light is catching it. Those atomic humbucker pickups, they's for real. Yamaha acoustics, they don't get enough love. I always forget myself about Yamaha acoustics. There's good stuff here, except the presentation is not so pretty. Boss Katana, Mark II on the top, probably a 50 like mine. This Yamaha, I played in a band in the 80s with a dear friend of mine who's still out there rocking today, JD Bradshaw, word up, metal horns. He had a Yamaha amp, I think it was a lot like this, it might have been a 212, but that was a beast. He could get quite a bit of gain out of it. Again, another underloved Yamaha. The rest of it though, first of all, aren't we all of a certain age? You got this whole rock setup, and then what do you got? Oh, a little sissy digital cable there, USB, lightning.
Busted.
Keeps his breath sweet. I like that. Them socks.
Come on!
Them socks. All right. I love the dikes, and no, I'm talking about the wire cutters.
That's crazy!
Those red-handled dikes that you get from Radio Shack, and I'm just gonna keep saying dikes until the YouTube AI flags my video. That's what they're called. Grow up. So he's been doing some kind of work there. He's got a towel. I don't really know. It almost looks like a folded over heating pad. Something white and disgusting underneath it. You got a little pocket knife there. The room's kind of decent. It looks like maybe the carpet didn't get quite so finished, quite so snugly up against that baseboard there if we wanna really nitpick. But that amp stand though, that kind of shit makes America great. This is redneck engineering at its best, and I love it. Two either 5-gallon paint buckets or drywall mud buckets, and believe you me, those things are surprisingly strong with the lids on them, and just a big old stupid board. IKEA for rednecks. I love that, sir. I salute you. You are a true American. This is another picture the same dude sent to us. We're still on the same dude. And then I was like, oh dude, did he make a guitar out of Lego? That kicks ass. And then if you see right here on the bottom, look at that little Lego pedal board for the Princeton reverb. That is so killer. I didn't even know such a thing existed. 3 songs I would grind on this gear would be Fire on the Mountain by Marshall Tucker Band, Mental Health by Quiet Riot, Fruit Salad, The Wiggles. Oh. This might be the greatest flex in the history of Grind My Gear. And that's a record that'll stand since this is the last fucking one that we're gonna do. This is a cool room. I don't even know where to start. The man likes Les Pauls. Look at that wall. Now, if you'll notice, this is a basement. See them concrete walls on the one side? And look at that padded ceiling up top. See them pads?
That's what she said!
Look over here. Dude has cinder block, and look what he did. That looks perfect. Got to be something here we could bust on though, Jesus. But let's look at this Les Paul wall. Got a junior. He's got a deluxe in a gorgeous Pelham blue. He's got a standard in black. Got a gold top. Is that a gold top custom with a Bigsby Flex. So he has many, many flavors of Les Paul on his wall. And stop for a minute and look at this wall. It's probably wood you can buy that has these little images on it. This is probably some shit they sell at Hobby Lobby I'm just not aware of, but it's cool as hell. And it's just sort of ephemeral in the, on the back. You almost like see it and don't see it. Ephemeral. You don't hear that word on every YouTube gear channel, do you? Let's look at them amps. First of all, a Marshall acoustic amp, and I'm sorry, not just picking on Marshall acoustic amps, I don't get them. I don't get them. If you're playing out somewhere where you need to amplify your acoustic, chances are you got a PA. Why wouldn't you just use a direct box into a PA, son? Or maybe even mic it. Acoustic amps, I don't get them. I don't like them. Suddenly I'm angry. Look at that grill cloth, son. That was back in, is that Betty Page? Was she the pinup queen? Do I have that right? That was back in the 40s probably. Look, they got it done back in the 40s too. Look at them thick thighs. Look at that position that she is in. She's airing it out, son. That music's coming right between her legs and bringing a breeze, a much needed breeze. We've got a tiny little Fender back there, probably the junior. Oh, I didn't even see this. What? It's not a clock, it's just something cool on the wall. That's cool as shit, son. There is not a damn thing in this room that I can bust on. This room is killer. 3 songs I would grind on this gear: As Lonely as the Night by Billy Squier, Brain Stew by Green Day, and Run Like Hell, Pink Floyd. So now we're in a tale of two basement situation. That last basement, right? And then this basement. Well, it's not as posh, but it's almost as cool. What kind of stuff is on the wall there? Is that some more Hobby Lobby shit that I don't know about? Oh my Lord, that laminate flooring doesn't match anything on the walls. I gotta say that right up front. Where do I start? We want to start with the obvious. Light beer from Miller, bottom right corner. I don't know if you can see it, but let me get it up there for you in case you can't. I'm pretty sure that's a Miller Light. What has he got back there? A little Yamaha, less polished type thing. Another mess of a pedal board over here. Can't really see much about it. Now, amps. You have a wide array of really cool amps. I gotta give it to you. The 5150 on a angled 412. Got a Rhino. I haven't seen one of those in a million years. What kind of Tolex is that? Snakeskin bitches. And then maybe a little 2x12 on casters underneath it. Maybe that's where they all go into. Got an old Marshall. What do we got here? Oh, the old Diamond. Look at the transformers on that, man. They made transformers back then when men were men and steel was steel. A nice old Rivera head there on another well-kept PV angled front cabinet. Now, we got camouflage drums, and then we got these weapons. Ted Nugent, is this you? God, guitar, guns, and drums, I guess. He's got like some, I don't know what he's got, like, oh, what is that across his drums? Like little LED. Oh, those are icicles. Big, ugly, stupid Christmas decoration icicles. It's like a high-powered rifle on a tripod just sitting in your music room. Then you got all your other rifles just laying around. Can't we just get in here and make some music? So we got alcohol and we got guns in close proximity. Maybe this Hobby Lobby shit on the walls is some kind of bullet absorbing gun range kind of shit. And I don't know what's going on behind these black things either. Perhaps that was a window and he's trying to obviously close out all the light because of all the illegal guns he's got in there. Or he wants to hide the fact that his floors don't match his walls from his neighbors. 3 songs I would grind on this gear would be Weekend Warrior, Ted Nugent, Pantera's Cowboys from Hell, and Debbie Boone, You Light Up My Life. A tale of 3 basements. We have yet another baller basement. I just love how they do basement treatments these days. I have basement envy. Trying to get bodies in a crawl space, it's a thing. Ask John Gacy about it. Dahmer had it so much easier with the basement. It's got chair rail. It's just a beautiful color combination. I love how they cover up the beams and some of the infrastructure, you know, some of the vents and all that stuff. I love the recessed lighting that he's got in there in the setback. I don't know if that was already there, then he put the guitars up, or he did that specially for the guitars. I'm gonna guess it was already there. Here's why. Oh, these guitars, bro. But they look very like, you know, high end in the presentation, but they're not necessarily. I see an SE, I see a bass there, a Strat, like say the PRS SE, got like maybe a Les Paul Jr., I can't really tell, Epiphone, Nothing wrong with it. He's got a keyboard that does not scream quality gear to me. Seems like something you get at Sears and Roebuck. I just threw that in there to see how old my audience is. So he's got a cool basement, and now there's a ping pong table in it. Good thing there aren't expensive guitars on the wall because, you know, I mean, ping pongs, they don't do a lot of damage, you wouldn't think, like not to the wall, but you'd be surprised. Ping pong goes scuffing across one of your favorite guitars, nitro finish, about 95 miles an hour. It's gonna leave a mark. So the ping pong table's gotta go, son. I can't tell if that's a 4 or a 3. I think it might be a Spider 4. And he's got the pedal board for it, so he's got the full outfit for it. But here's the thing, you see that thing over there next to it? I think that's a Yamaha multi-effects unit. With all the things that the Line 6 Spider 4 has in it, and you still have to have a multi-effects unit to run into it, it just shows you how much that the Spider 4 sucks. 3 songs I would grind on this gear would be Rockstar by Nickelback, Dog and Butterfly by Heart, and Made You Look, Meghan Trainor. And last but not least, on the very last grind my gear ever, and I didn't pick this to be anything spectacular. Now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm kind of disappointed that maybe this one shouldn't have been last. But hey, that's fitting, right? This is a series that just sort of petered out. Let's let this episode peter out. There ain't no guitars in this, that's kind of a shame. And what's also kind of a shame is this tiny little space that he's been given in his house. Nice looking carpet, I love the wall color, I love the nice crisp baseboard. We got some stuff going on there, like it might be an older house or it's Venetian plaster. Isn't it funny how there's a thin line between something that's really high end, like Venetian plaster, or just an old busted up, jacked up poor person's house?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny how that is. Okay, so it's got a little clutter on top of the amp. We can't hate that. Looks like a switcher for the Marshalls at Origin. Yeah, 25, or the Origin 20, they don't make a 25. The Vibrolux reverb amp. How do I know that? Because I can clearly read it on the label. OR15. Oh, I thought I saw one of those in another picture. Maybe this is our second OR15 of the day. The dual rec, the Rectoverb 25 with an extension cabinet and matching Tolex. Flex. But his wife still makes him jam it in a tiny, tiny little space.
That's what she said.
I know, I cringed when I said that too. Now, this pedal board, I like it. Why do I like it? It's simple and it has some classic effects that I actually recognize and understand. This isn't a boutique board at all. I know everything on here. It's got the Terraform by Wampler, which I believe that was a modulation. Oh, my favorite delay in the whole world. Was it the DD7? Love it. Hall of Fame reverb, you can't go wrong with that as long as it doesn't break on you. Then we've got this vintage Echo alter ego unit. Looks like an old Line 6. I have no idea, I've never seen that before. Obviously aftermarket button stompers. He has a Boss phase shifter, the Wampler Tumnus Deluxe, the Pantheon, also by Wampler. Another mod. So the guy's got great taste in pedals. Carpet looks pretty fresh. Can't really find much to bust on here. 3 songs I would grind on this gear would be Texas Flood by Stevie Ray Vaughan, Feel the Pain by Dinosaur Jr., and Cuff It, Queen Bee. So what did we learn today? We learned that Lego apparently is partnered with Fender and they have a little Lego guitar that you can make. Did you know that? We also learned that God, guns, alcohol, and camouflage drums can be the centerpiece of any proud hillbilly basement as long as you have a clean record. And finally, we learned that these days, basements are a thing.
This is your mom.
As always, I thank you for the time that you spend with me. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. You can check me out on social media, although I don't do anything there.
Loser.
Tell some of your ratty ass, embarrassing, don't want to admit they're your friends about GearGasms. I know they'll fit in here perfectly. You can buy some merch to support the channel, but I would rather have you support the channel by actually watching the channel. Whatever you do in the next 7 days, don't tell Anthony Kiedis about it, because he's just going to show up trying to look like Chaz Bono's dad.
It's Brittany, bitch.
Chaz Bono. Chaz Bono used to be Chastity Bono. Did you know that?
That's racist!
But play more guitar. Watch less of this. Keep coming back here week after week for more GearGasms.